Hi there, I am super excited to be here today. I will be talking about the Ogallala Data Directory project, which is a project I've headed up. And it is a metadata directory for natural resources and agriculture data sets in the Ogallala Aquifer region. So this here that you're looking at is the landing page for the Ogallala Data Directory. It is hosted alongside the Ogallala Water Coordinated Agricultural Project's dataset library. And that's simply so that we could leverage the strengths of what's already been built rather than building something entirely new. So through the Ogallala Data Directory, you'll have access not only to the metadata records for various data sets all over the internet, you'll also have access to the metadata records for the Ogallala Water CAP, Coordinated Agricultural Project. From this homepage, you can get to the data sets a number of ways. You can either click on data sets or add data. I'm going to click on data sets. Once you're on the data set page, you'll see this little ticker thing here. You can either look at all data sets, so that's the whole Ogallala Data Directory, or if for some reason you only want to look at the Ogallala Water CAP projects, data sets, you can do that as well. I'm going to leave it on Ogallala Data Directory. Currently, we only have 19 pages worth of data. However, we expect soon to be able to finally ingest the data sets from data.gov, and that will significantly increase the number of metadata records that we have. I'm kind of using metadata set and data sets interchangeably. I apologize. So once you're on this page, you can do any kind of search that you want. I like searching for New Mexico. You'll see that we have 22 entries for various data sets for New Mexico. You can search for other strings as well, but I'm not going to demonstrate that since we don't especially have time. You can also, one of the cool features is that you can look at a map of all the data directory data sets. So what this shows is the 70-something data sets that I've put in. It will also hopefully show the data sets from data.gov. It does not show the Ogallala Water CAP data sets because they don't really have location information. So if something doesn't have location information, it won't be in this map. Once you're on this map, you can actually click on any of these points, and what it will show you is the area of interest for that point, and then you can click on more details, and that'll take you to the metadata record for that data set. So on this metadata record, the first thing you'll see other than the title is that you can look at where the data set is published. If you go there, then that'll allow you to download the data set itself. You'll see a description of the data set as well as when the metadata record was created and who created it. You'll also, especially importantly, see this contact person. So that's the contact person for the data set. That's who you would email if, for example, you can't find the data set, this link is broken or something, or you have questions. You'll also see the spatial coverage that is by state, it doesn't go any smaller than state. And you'll see the temporal coverage, both start and end. In some cases, the temporal coverage start is a best guess based on what I could find about the data set while I've been putting these in. And then the temporal coverage ends. Sometimes this will be blank. That's for data sets whose temporal coverage never ends. So for example, those constantly updating data sets, regardless of the time step upon which they update, if they are still being updated, they will not have a temporal coverage end. You'll also see the latitude and longitude of that centroid point. So that little point on the map was the centroid of the data within the data set. We have National Agricultural Library keywords that we use to categorize the data sets. In this case, I've used New Mexico and groundwater. And we also have tags. I have not used any in this case, but you'll see tags on some other metadata records. You can also, on the data portal, you can register for your own account. So that's a really quick registration, and then you'll receive a confirmation email. What that does is it allows you to then add your own data sets. So when you're in data sets, you can then click add data set, and you can fill out this form. It's really easy, really fast to fill out. And then you'll click add data set, and what that will do is then put the metadata record into the Ogallala Data Directory for everyone else to be able to access. And because we're limited on time, that's kind of the short and the quick and dirty version of the tour of the data directory. However, if you are interested in more details about the data directory, or especially if you want to add data sets yourself, that would be fantastic. But if you know of other people who should hear about the data directory, if you would like to tell them about it, or I can tell them about it, if if it's, you know, something you would like me to speak to them about. But we're just hoping that this data directory gets out there to the people who can use it, and we would love to see it kind of built on. So if you even think of a project, or if you have a project in the future whose data you think should be put in here, or that you think could build upon it, that would be fantastic. We're also working on incorporating some visualizations, especially maps. I'm trying my hardest to build a map that shows all of the active wells in the Ogallala Aquifer region, but because that's so many, it's kind of a challenge. So anyway, stay tuned for kind of the future of this data directory. We're going to keep adding to it. And I would love to take any questions either on the talk or on the data directory itself. Thank you.